Hey, and welcome to the podcast for today. We only have one question, but it's a really important question, and so I hope everybody watches this for everything that you're going to get from it. So this question comes from Catherine, who's been playing around with different offer statements, and this week she came back and said, I think I'm going to change my who from divorced women or women who may have been widowed or something like that. I'm going to change it to healers and mentors because I can really help them with inner child stuff, getting rid of their blocks so that they can rock it out. And I've decided that they really are the movers. Well, so some of them are, without a doubt, Catherine. But I'm going to back up, as Elizabeth says, back up the truck a little bit. And let's talk about where you are with all of this, because I think this higher level conversation is going to give you a lot of clarity. So one of the things that I think we keep running up against is that most of all of your offer statements have come from a place of, I know I can help them with the underlying stuff so that they'll get X, and then we don't know what X is going to be. So I think for divorce women, it was, you've got a lot of decisions to make. I'm going to help you make decisions. Most people won't pay for help to make decisions. Most people won't pay for emotional relief, confidence, things like that. They will go to a therapist for it because they believe, if I'm depressed, I should go to a therapist. That's kind of the societal norm, is not to necessarily use a healer or an energy healer for something like that. And believe me, I've experienced frustration with society's beliefs about the importance of emotions, or how damaging limiting beliefs can be, and things like that. With what I would call beginning business owners, because I don't think you're talking about shooting for the people making over $100,000 or $200,000 a year. You're talking about people who maybe just started, and you're going to help them get rid of their blocks so they can take the movement. Most of what I have seen, almost all of what I've seen in the under $100,000 business realm, especially the coaches healer realm, is they will pay for strategy, they will not pay for mindset. Because they already think they have the mindset handled. So they're not sitting around going, oh, if only I could find somebody to help me with my mindset, because they're already mindset experts. Now, does this mean you can't help them? Absolutely not. I'm sure you could do a lot to help them. But if they don't believe it and they're not looking for you, they're looking for a marketing strategy. They're looking for a sales strategy. They're looking for somebody to send them clients. They're looking for the strategic stuff, usually, not, I know if I got the mindset stuff out of my way, I would be fine. That's much more likely. You're much more likely to get someone who is aware of mindset problems when they've hit a significantly higher place of revenue, and they know they're doing the right thing strategically, but they know they're getting in their own way. It's a much different level of awareness. I don't think you're going to find it in the lower level folks. And I'm not sure whether with where you are in this, you're going to have the credibility that you need to step in. I'm not sure about that. I don't know if you want to go for a higher level of entrepreneur, but here's, I said I would give you the umbrella, the 20,000-foot view. Here's the important thing. You're trying to do all of this around a problem that people don't know they have. Limiting beliefs, blocks, inner child, holding them back, all of this. Most people aren't aware of it. The people who are aware of it generally think they've got it handled. So can we come up with a strategic outcome that we can, what I call it is a 10% wrapper around your transformation. We need a 10% strategic wrapper around your information. So for example, I help divorced women over 50 have the confidence to date again. No, I don't know that that's a good niche for you at all, but that is a very specific outcome. Divorced women over 50 probably are struggling with their looks. They may not have dated in 10 or 20 or 30 years. Like, there's all kinds of situations, and it's a clear outcome. I'm ready to date again or find love again or something like that. Again, not suggesting that's the right thing for you, but you can see how specific an outcome that is, even though, yes, you'd be dealing with a lot of mindset and blocks and inner child and all that kind of stuff. So if you're going to say, I help healers and mentors, you would have to say, I help them make more money. And a lot of people in your situation are uncomfortable making that promise to make more money because although you know that there's probably blocks, I actually think that you need the strategy and you need the mindset together. And that if you have one but not the other, you probably won't succeed. The problem is if what you're providing is the mindset only, you need to make sure that you choose clients who have the strategy, or they're not going to get the results that you want them to get. So all of this being said, and I know there's a lot that I'm throwing out at you, is what is the outcome that you want to help people produce in the world? I still think right now you're focused on your process. You're focused on, journaling, non-dominant hand journaling, inner child work, making friends with your inner child. That is all the process that can lead to breakthroughs, that can lead to an outcome. We actually need to start with an outcome. And I don't have an agenda about what that outcome is. I don't care if it's in the dating world, the entrepreneurial world, the health world, the whatever, it's fine. But we have to have an outcome, and it can't be just emotionally based. It can't be just you'll feel better, you'll feel more confident, you'll feel safer, any of those things. Those will be important things for you to deliver, but they're not what you're going to sell. Okay. So I do want to acknowledge you. I know you've been going back and forth on this and trying different things. And I love your stick-to-itiveness. I love your determination to solve this. And you are working on exactly the right thing. Solving this and getting the right offer is so critical. It's so important. So you're in the right place, doing the right thing. Hang in there. And we'll get, but what I want you to come back with is these are the outcomes. These are the outcomes that I feel comfortable providing. I'll give you one more tip. If you're like, I don't do outcomes, I just do process. This is my process. I can help basically anybody, but I know I have to choose somebody. I used to tell people if you read 3 books on a subject, you'd actually know more than 99% of the people on the planet. I still kind of think that's true. I wouldn't suggest that you go into something you have no experience in whatsoever. But if I wanted to become, for example, an expert on women over 50 dating. Now, I'm a woman over 50 who has dated in, the last 10 years or something like that. So could I study about it and do it? I probably could. I have no desire to do that. It's not my area of expertise, and I don't want to make it my area of expertise. But I believe that if you have an interest and some reason to work in an area, that you can expand your expertise to talk about the outcomes in that area. And whether it's 50 or 60 or 80% of what you'll be providing is the mindset work, you still need that strategic wrapper around it and an outcome to talk about it, because that's what's going to make it finger pointing. That's what's going to make it a hot offer. Okay. Great work. Keep it coming. I look forward to the next one.